rather eat pretzels only for the rest of your life or chips? It can only be
chips.
Regular chips.
Chips.
Fucking pretzels, man. Fucking pretzels.
Chips you can dip into anything.
You can dip pretzel. Okay.
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
You can dip pretzels into anything. However, there is nothing like a regular chip French onion dip combo.
Oh, that's what we've been doing a lot at home.
That's what you've been doing.
French onion is not big, I feel like, on the West Coast.
I was going to ask.
And this Wegmans was my first French onion dip.
What?
Yeah.
So there's like the onion one, and then there's like the French, the hell of a good.
Oh, we just get the Wegmans one.
Is it? Oh, there's a bison.
But that one is good. I've had that one before.
The bison one? Is it bison?
I don't know.
It's an onion on it.
Yep.
Thank you. I was waiting.
The onion.
I feel like whenever I hear Scott chime in.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear Scott chime in, like, it makes me happy because I'm subconsciously kind of like waiting for him to give me back up there.
Yeah.
I got you.
But he's also like the guy on The Price is Right.
Which guy?
The
Bob Barker, the dead one?
No, the announcer guy.
Oh yeah,
because he like chit chats with Drew and Bob.
Oh,
that's right.
I haven't watched.
I vaguely remember that
with Drew Carey. Honestly,
he's the announcer. So, fun fact: when I used to spray tan in Florida, Miami, we used to spray tan Drew Carey's ex-fiance at the time.
Oh,
and I don't know if she was the famous one that passed away. But it's crazy thinking about Drew Carey because
he had a show. I used to watch that.
All the little kids, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks,
yep,
Cleveland rocks.
Oh, wow, how did you remember that?
I used to watch it all the time. Fucking Mimi.
You've got a good memory.
I have a good memory about weird shit.
When you're old, super old, you're gonna be that annoying grandma just rambling off.
How's that annoying?
Not annoying.
That annoying?
But you know.
I forgot.
So the last time we were here, I don't even think I introduced you.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
No.
But this is Linda. She came on Stony Baloney podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel all of my guests that come on, even though my other podcast, I feel like my other podcast was more directed towards being an entrepreneur and angry. I'm trying not to be that way this time. I'm trying to be like more positive in this one.
That's good.
But it's hard because there's topics that I feel normal people are afraid to talk about, but I'm not afraid to talk about them.
Yeah.
And I think experiences in my life, not everything I talk about is from an experience, but just gave me balls. So I feel 80s, 90s, people fucking, they sugarcoat shit. Like they want that beaver cleaver, leave it to beaver persona about them. And all the demons in their closets are fucking hidden and, you know, don't let people hear you be like this and shit. Mm-hmm. When really, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, if you're embarrassed to talk about it.
If you don't want people to know about the bad shit you've done, then stop being a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
You would think it wouldn't be that fucking hard for people, but no. And then they get mad at you.
Yeah.
When you talk about it.
Right.
Oh, I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm trying to be more positive in this podcast. However, I do think most of my friends in some kind of way are boss bitches. And you just went back to hair school for the second time.
Yeah. I had to get New York hours here, which was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be, thankfully.
And it went by really fast.
So fast. Oh my gosh. I barely remember it, and it was, you know, not even that long ago.
So, one, I'm not going to apologize for the munching that's going to accumulate during this podcast because I had a long night, and
Oh my
I
gosh,
had
yeah.
a quick morning,
Yeah.
and
Me too. I just woke up like 30 minutes
she
ago.
fucking did. And
I am here though.
honking in her driveway.
Did you
She's
hear my neighbor's kid?
no, but this bitch is late.
To
Just
everything.
woke up like 25 minutes before we had to be here, and she's like smoking on the porch. We'll smoke on the way.
I was waiting. What am I gonna bring? I can't use yours. I wasn't gonna bring the huge bong in your car.
Listen, all these people smoke weed, but they're not prepared for outing situations. I always have my bong.
Yeah, no, I don't have a small bong. It broke.
I actually
Stop yelling at me.
had an incident.
Also, I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about this, if I'm late, I will cut things out. Like I didn't get ready.
You look good.
Thank you. But, you know, like, if I'm late, like, I'm not gonna, like, do stupid shit. I was just getting my coffee heated up.
Well, I ate a gummy without eating today, so that's about where we are at. But
Things might get weird.
I had a raccoon incident a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I always get in these situations where I'm saving animals, but I feel the universe knows. And
Yeah.
that's why it happens. But also,
agree.
I look. Like,
An animal?
if there's a dead animal on the side of the road, I fucking look.
Yeah.
And I looked, and for some reason, that raccoon didn't look dead to me, even though he was, like, curled up in a ball. And I turned around, and sure enough, he fucking put his head up. And I'm like,
You didn't tell me that.
this fucking sucks. So I waited on the side of the road for about an hour and a half. It was freezing cold. I didn't have a coat.
Oh, right. Yes.
I'm
you
on-
didn't tell me that it looked up.
Well, it was moving.
You said it was moving, but you didn't. That's
So
traumatizing.
he was shaking, probably because he was freezing and scared and hurt. He had like burn, like on his stomach, and then he was like missing like a part of his like ear got messed up and stuff. But the fact that he was able to move, I tried putting something on him, and he like rolled on his back and hissed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ran to the car.
that area right there is so dangerous.
It's so
I've
bad.
almost gotten hit by a deer twice
There's
leaving your house.
trees down everywhere because they're taking animals' homes because we need all this extra fucking shit. Let's use the empty buildings or like something, but like there's gonna be nothing left here. And it really makes me want to cry when I'm driving. Churchville and Chili, I understand growth of places, but I don't want it to look like Greece. I live in Churchville. I want to be in a small
It'll
village.
never look like Greece, no.
It's getting close. They're knocking down shit everywhere. Linda, let's go for a ride. Let me take you for a ride.
All right. You know what it is, too? For me, I'm new to the area, like we said before. And I always, like when you go on Buffalo Road towards like Target and everything, when you're going back, I always get that confused.
Chili F.
Yeah. Whatever. You know what I mean, though? Like, I'm always like, oh, that is close.
So a cop stopped and said he was going to take care of it.
Yeah, that's what makes me upset.
And then I was like, and it's a busy road. So
Yeah.
I'm also afraid that not only am I going to get hit by a car, but someone's going to hit my car or someone's going to hit the raccoon again.
Yeah.
There were times that people were close and I could tell they were probably on their phones and not paying attention. So I like stood in the road
Yeah.
because I wanted them to like look up and catch a glance at something. And then I like ran back to the side.
Is there like do people call you already or do you call people to like come?
I need to do volunteer hours first to get my wildlife
do
license.
that. Yeah.
Well, during this whole rendezvous,
Should more people be doing this? Like, do they need people?
yeah, and I feel like first off, there's people that are assholes that see animals walk across and they just hit them anyway. And that's what breaks my heart.
I know.
And those are people that deserve to be in jail. I also understand, a friend told me recently, because I had a status, that someone in her family passed away because they were on a bike and swerved from a squirrel and they passed away.
Oh, like because they crashed?
So she said, like, she always...
That would happen to me.
she doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to get in an accident.
I have heard people say that, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't be driving that fast anyways. Literally 80% of the time.
Dude, I drive slow as fuck all the time. Unless I'm on the expressway, but all I do the whole time is scan.
She was driving 52 the whole way here.
I was not driving 52.
Yes, you were. Remember when I was like, why isn't anyone driving 65?
I don't know where
Which is good, because that area is also really bad.
I don't know where the exit is here.
That area, you usually see
or
a
like
lot
how far it was from where we were, so I didn't want to like pass them and miss it.
There's usually a lot of animals in the area right there.
Well, when the cop was walking, he looked in my car, and I had my bong right in my center. I wasn't smoking it.
You need a bag for that.
I didn't smoke it. I was not smoking it, but it was sitting right there. And my window was down, and he looked right at that thing. But I think I was so distraught. He was like, I'm fucking done with this, bitch. So he left a couple minutes after me. He didn't even do anything. He just let the raccoon stay on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Long story short, I finally got a hold of a wildlife person, and she said, like, how we would be able to catch it, and it doesn't sound like it had rabies. So, because that's a different license. Technically, technically, you have 24 hours if you could save an animal to get it to a wildlife professional. So, technically, everybody can fucking do it if they want to have compassion for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I get people have places to go and shit.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Like, if I had a catering order that needed to go to that airline or something, I'm running there and I'm running back, or I'm calling somebody. Like, I'm not letting this thing... The fact that something got hit by a car and is just laying there suffering by itself, but also that it made it through it, and then you just want to, oh, whatever, it already got hit. What if you got fucking hit, bitch?
Yeah.
Fuck you. People are fucked that they only care about themselves. Like... Even mice. Mice are disgusting. I get it. But, like, the traps where they're stuck on the paper, that's still something that has feelings.
They say that's more humane than the... Obviously. But a lot of people leave them there.
Remember when I had Amani go in the garbage and take the mice out because they threw the mice in the garbage?
There's so many there, too. It's like, you can't... Yeah.
It's just fucking sad.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, you were talking about your dreams.
Yeah, I keep having them.
And you have, like, this reoccurring one.
Yeah.
And when we talked the other day, you said you fucking had that dream again.
Yeah. I always do. If I dream, I usually don't dream, but a few times a month I feel like I do.
So, would you say that this is your house in some kind of different realm at this point?
It doesn't feel like it. You know what it feels like every once in a while? Like it's Andrew's parents' house, but it's not that house at all.
I could see that because his parents have like this, like
lakey kind of look to the back.
It's a huge house, and there's a whole section, like this cool room, whole part of it that's not even finished yet.
Oh, yeah, upstairs.
And it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like their attic, because there's no attic up there.
But it reminds me of those, like... When I have dreams of a house inside of a house, there's like secret levels.
Yeah.
Like those ones always leave the heaviest feeling on my chest.
And that house isn't even haunted.
So, I mean, land can be haunted.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And there's been a lot of years.
I bet over there in that area too. There's more.
So my mom, for Christmas and stuff every year, used to get me the World Almanac. And I was looking at one of my older ones the other day, and I was like, why the hell do I not have...
An almanac?
Why'd she fucking stop? See, this is where parents fuck up. It doesn't matter how old your kids are. You should
Yeah.
always be doing things for them and taking care of them. You brought them in here. You fucking treat them good.
Yeah.
I will spoil my children to the day that I no longer can, and I will make sure that even if I am not here, that they are set up and
Yeah.
that their families get set up. Like I will make sure I will come back in some leaf form or whatever.
Your parents are young too. I feel like maybe they'll start to soften up a little bit. My parents are in their 70s now, and they've softened up a lot. And not in like a way of like, oh, they are like that. I will admit I'm very lucky my parents are still very like I'm their little girl. But we're in like the pendulum of like us talking about taking care of them.
Well,
So Jennifer better start acting up or start acting better.
she got me this book for this year
Why?
because I wanted it.
She would get this for you every year?
Yes. I mean, and then I would like go into like my closet or something and have my little play area. And then I would have my different things, and I don't know, I guess I felt like the National Guard. I had my World Almanac. But
That's a funny lure.
the
It makes a lot of sense.
they have like disasters, weather and climate disasters, and all the years of shit, and it starts.
What year is that?
This one's 2025.
How do they already know?
I don't fucking know. I guess it's for like the year before go. It doesn't
About
make
the
sense.
year going in.
No, this is what
It
just
says
happened.
2025. We're in 2025.
I understand. I think that like they count it as in like
2024.
I don't fucking know. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But this is obviously like 2024 shit. But to look at the old almanacs from like 2013 and 2004, and then look at the facts and how much shit has changed in this one is insane. Like everything you need to know is in this fucking book.
I need to see this book.
But it like makes me start thinking because of the asteroid coming.
Oh no.
I think it's going to get a lot closer.
Me too.
Because it jumped from like 1% to like 3.1%. And I don't know. I don't know. I just feel it's been a while since something catastrophic has happened. But
I feel like we're in it every day.
we are in it every day.
Before
But every generation has their shit and their scaries, and like
yeah, that's true.
every generation has had something like going on. And I feel when you look back at that time, like that they were hiding under desk.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking back at that now, people think it's silly that they did the bomb things and hid under the desk and shit.
They would make like bunkers under schools. Our school had like a fallout room
That's
back
crazy.
then. Yeah. So the salon does too. There's a lot of buildings here that have that.
The fact that could be like cities and shit underground,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's fake news or not. I don't fucking know. When I look on social media, I just assume it's a 50-50 chance. It could be fake, it could be real. Take it as it is. Learn something from it. But I saw something about like Elon Musk talking about making underground tunnels, which I mean, we have subways and shit.
He's done it in Vegas already. And it's just sitting there.
But how insane that most likely if we make it that far, we've come so far since the early 1900s. They didn't even have electricity in Churchville until like 1924. And my grandma, Vicky, shout out to Grandma Vicky, but she's 82 and she was born in 1948. Women couldn't even have their own credit cards until 1974, 1975. Look at me throwing out these fucking dates.
I know. I was like, where are we going with this?
But I had a dream the other night and it was like this big giant asteroid thing like coming up over the earth, like as if I could tell the earth was round which I'm not saying it is, but
No.
but I could see Scott rolling his eyes back there.
Well, I wanted to jump in because if she was born in 1948, she's 77.
So you better get your facts straight, girl.
Look at me throwing numbers.
Also, almanacs are used to predict like the weather and the crop and all that kind of stuff. The farmer's almanac.
That's how I could tell she's never read it all.
No,
It's a prediction. It also has like stats of where the world is at as population and where they're expecting it's going to go and all that kind of stuff.
You do need Scott.
That just blew my fucking mind. That all these years, I thought this is what happened the year before.
Stupid.
There might be some stuff from the year before because it talks about trends. Mm-hmm. So it'll say like in 2024 the population was this, and based on the growth of the last 10 years, maybe the population will be this by next year or whatever.
I think my edible kicked in.
I
Because
could tell.
that just fucked me up.
Her whole childhood is so different now.
It's like a fucking bizarro Jerry right now. Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
Well, now that my world just got turned upside down, I had this dream that this fucking meteor was coming up over the Earth horizon of the ocean, and it was so red. And I feel like I've said before, I don't think I see color in dreams. Maybe only a few times I've seen color. That was red as fuck. And it was huge, and it was getting bigger. It was more like the sun. Like, it looked like the sun was coming up.
Uh-huh.
Also, tells a lot about a person, but we both had fast mornings, and we got some snacks from Scott. Scott,
Thanks, Scott.
snack. If you want a podcast, you should hook up Scott, or hit up Scott. You should definitely hit up
And if
Scott.
you're tired, you could also take a
You can
nap
take
in there.
a nap, take a little nappy. But also he's got snacks. Like, I was like, fuck, I didn't have time to get a drink. Mm-hmm. Now that I knew Scott was napping, I would have stopped at the gas station for a drink, though.
Give him a little extra.
Oh my god. So, speaking of your younger self, there's like this meme going around, or some kind of tiki-taki, where people are doing I would like take my younger self to coffee, and that girl that's all blah 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 or whatever, like that emotionally
That little girl.
like I tell her it was going to be okay. And I say a lot about the narrative or prospect of looking back at memories and how those are like different lifestyles, different times, and how past lives are the same. They're basically distant memories, but for some reason in our new birth, we don't remember that. And so sometimes I wonder if
You're in the
my
Hiroshima.
No. I was in Vietnam. I think I died in a helicopter crash. And that, I'm hoping that's where my panic of and fear of flights are.
I could see that.
Whenever I did mushrooms, I would like transport back to Vietnam.
Terrifying.
Mushrooms or Vietnam?
Vietnam.
Wasn't there people doing drugs in Vietnam?
Yes.
That is, can you imagine? Like, it's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking nuts. Well, it's crazy to think back at who you were at 20. I'm now 36. And there's this weird age inspection.
Perception.
misconception.
Okay.
For example, let me just help myself out here.
Yes. Please do.
We were in Target. I was in Target. Do you ever feel like, I always say we, like I feel like it's me and the bitch in my head.
Not Kenny.
But I'm in Target. Did you hear my stomach?
I thought that was like a car going by. She is hungry.
Dude, that was so loud.
That
and it
was. I hope
rumbled.
the audio got that because that was loud.
I feel like it had to have. Oh, my.
That was the gummy also kicking in.
I have half fake hair right now. I needed a transformation. Let me get fucking not sidetracked.
Yeah.
So they were saying that they were talking about a rapper or a singer or something, and the fact that he's like 40 something. He's trying to like reinvent himself. And they said it in such a way, and it was like when I was their age, I thought 40 and shit was so fucking old.
Yeah.
I thought 23 was old. And now I look back and I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
We're so close.
But also, I feel people, once they start hitting like 35, 40, they start freaking out, and then they just hit this like jumbotron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people I feel that are just 10 years older than us, and they seem like they're 25 years older than us. But I think that's still kind of from the 90s, because people who were like 40 in the 90s looked like they were fucking 70. Like the Golden Girls. You would have thought they were 70 in the Golden Girls. And they were young.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like 53.
Yeah.
53,
I would say 50s or
54.
60s. They weren't that far
But I
off.
still feel like they look way older than like my dad and shit.
Honestly, I'm surprised with how young your parents are, because they do look older.
My mom is 59.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty young.
That is young.
My dad is 69.
How old's your sister?
Do you hear my stomach again? It was like my sister is 5 years older. So
Okay.
41.
Yeah, they're young.
My aunt, my sister, my mom, not really gray hair. My aunt doesn't have any. My sister, and I don't think she's lying either, because I could see her roots coming in. I don't see grays. My sister doesn't have any yet. She doesn't really even dye her hair. How opposite we are. And then,
Your mom doesn't dye her hair?
no, she's got like this
Highlights?
gray, kind of like what I want to do with the blonde.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of got like that around her face right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then her hair is brown.
Mm-hmm. She probably touches that up. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, I don't think she can handle that. Maybe. I feel like I've seen box dye through the years, but I don't think she's dyeing it now.
Yeah.
But my papa, he was 87 when he passed away. He still had
lot of hair.
dark in his hair. So I feel like that's the only thing I got going for me, is that I don't have.
You're not losing your hair.
No, I'm not. Surprisingly.
Your hairline looks fine.
Surprisingly.
It's a good sign.
Harry had a very bad haircut.
He had a very bad haircut.
And I almost fought the lady.
I blame it on Kenny.
I blame it on Kenny too. But then Kenny comes back and says that I always get upset because it
True.
doesn't turn out.
True.
Which is also true. However, everyone knows I like it long.
Uh-huh.
And they always cut it too fucking short.
Mm-hmm.
Harry likes it long too. He wanted to keep it long. And then I got fucking Dirty Dom's haircut. Exactly like Dirty Dom.
Exactly.
She didn't think it was a mullet. I said, I did not ask for a mullet. I said that she, first off, she had an attitude the minute we walked in the door. Also, I didn't book the appointments. Kenny booked the appointments. If Kenny is the appointment booker, I'm just there. I'm just helping. I'm just observing. Like, me and Gabe are going to sit over here doing our thing. You guys go get your haircuts. So then she just had this attitude and she was doing his bangs. I was on the phone. It was a very important phone call. I'm not a rude bitch that's like, maybe sometimes I am on my phone a lot in the stores and stuff. I feel like that's how I cope with my anxiety.
Get on the phone.
Yeah, I just have to like talk.
I have been called a few times through the self-checkout line.
But fucking she was cutting his bangs and I said, let's just start with the bangs. So he can see. So she showed me like where and she goes, "Do you like it here?" And here goes, yeah, I love it. So I'm like, if he loves it, like whatever he wants. Yeah. And then Gabe was fussing, so I went to bring him to Kenny, and then the roads were bad. We didn't think the van was going to make it home if it snowed any more.
Oh, was that day?
So we needed formula, so I went to Target, and when they came over from Target, we were in there for like 5 fucking minutes. Harry had his hood up. Harry puts his fucking hood down, and it's straight Billy Ray Cyrus Dirty Dom mullet.
So it was, you know what gets me as a hairstylist is I know she was not trying to help. Whatever was pissing her off, because even a baby stylist would have, if she really honestly thought that mullet looked good, she would have at least used the trimmers correctly. But there was like, it was so bad. I'm like, what did they do to her?
Pieces of his hair.
Yeah.
That were
it was
like,
so bad.
The back of it, there was just long hairs like this fucking long.
Yeah.
And that were just completely hanging. She completely took off his sideburns.
My God. You'll have to send Scott a picture so he can put it up real quick, because it was bad.
I had it on Facebook.
Usually I'm like, oh, they're just kids, it'll grow out, but I'm like, you better go back.
I kept him home from school the next day.
Wow, yeah.
And we went to the barber, and he did the best.
Oh yeah, what'd they say?
But so she was also like, we go back. I know I'm taking forever for this story. We go back, and when we get done, she's kind of like, is there something wrong? Or like, she just,
duh.
If she didn't say it like that, she said it like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, well, we just want to fix a couple things.
Yeah.
So we get over there, and I said, let's just start with the bottom, because the bottom was really long. What I think she did was she saw Kenny's mullet.
That's what I said.
Which he was getting rid of the mullet. Yeah. And she said, do you want your hair to look like Daddy's? I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened.
Yep, exactly.
If Daddy has a mullet, you ask.
Yeah.
You fucking ask before you give him a mullet.
Right.
You just make sure. You just don't take that in your own accord.
Here's the mullet.
Yeah. Oh, God. It was so bad. I love how Kenny was like trying to show the tail. Look at those sideburns.
She
like,
said,
what?
I don't like when you say mullet. I don't like when people use that term. Then what the fuck is it, Donna?
Look at that. He was so mad at you that you didn't like it.
Look in my... She kept saying to him, like, talking to him in a way where he started feeling bad, that I thought it was ugly.
Yeah, that was really not cool.
And then he's like, do you think I look good now, Mommy? Dude, I'm about to throw down at this point.
She's about to throw hands.
Because now you're upsetting my son. And you're talking to him in a way like I'm the bad guy.
Bizarre.
So I said, let's start with the bottom. And she goes, well, you need to figure it out, because I'm not doing all these different haircuts tonight. I don't got time. Well, you better figure out how to fucking fix that shit, Are you kidding me? And I held it together. I was so good. I behaved up until I didn't. But at the end, she showed it to me, and it looked worse than it did when it was long.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to go back there. Kenny made me go back there, and he said, we can't send him to school like this.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to say... You think we should trust her any longer?
Right.
We have a very limited campus to work with here. So at the end, at one point I turned and looked at the girl that we wanted because we didn't get the girl that we booked and asked for, which was the first mistake. Kenny should have said, we'll wait for...
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I forgot her name at the moment. But so I turn and look at her for backup, like, kind of one of those things like, are you hearing this?
Yeah.
So then they, she turns him around and she goes, okay, do you like it now? But with an attitude.
Yeah.
And I go, yes, it's fine. It's good. Harry, let's go, bud. And she goes, you don't like it. Bitch. Let's just let me walk away. So I said, no, what I don't like is the way that you're talking to me and your attitude.
Yeah.
At that point, I couldn't hold it in anymore.
Right.
And I was still calm. I didn't raise my voice.
Yeah.
But genuine fucking question.
Yeah.
But also, why are you talking to me like this?
Right.
So we're not going back there again. I texted the girl that usually does my hair. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I just told my managers, like, that's not okay. I may have said, like, I want to come in and have it fixed, but I don't want her there because I'll fucking punch her in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I think I may have scared the girl because she stopped talking to me. It was a very uncomfortable moment, and I feel like that was shitty because it made me look bad. To the people that were around, and I'm sure when I left, they were all, she was just blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know? So, that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I actually just saw before I came in here that scented wax melts is equivalent to diesel engines, like the fumes that they put off.
I have one. I have
Dude,
2.
Can you imagine what's in the Bath and Body Works fucking air fresheners?
Oh my God.
It's scary, and I think
I didn't know that.
Without getting into politics, but the fact that RFK is in right now, there are some things that he's bringing to light that I feel like no one has had the balls to through the years, like looking at food that America has versus food in Europe and all the GMO and processed shit and chemicals. And I feel when we were growing up, everyone was like, America's great. America's like the place to whatever. I feel like we're kind of starting to see why America is not great and why things are much more advanced in countries. And like, I don't think Europe and shit has ever had this shit in their foods. And we have poor health. We don't even consider dental as health in America. Like, so, I had to take...
We don't?
How hard is it for people to get dental health and how expensive it is?
Yeah, for sure. Health insurance and dental insurance is definitely insane here. For sure.
And it's scary... Like, if you don't have good dental and you have to go to one of those places like Eastman Dental.
Those are terrifying.
They are awful.
Yeah.
They are awful, awful, awful. Awful. Like, I've tried to...
Yeah, I've heard yours.
Horror stories.
Yeah, for sure.
They put a shot in the roof of my mouth, and they shouldn't have done that, and it was the worst pain I have ever felt in my whole entire life. I was screaming in the chair.
Oh my God.
I've pushed babies out of me. Like,
yeah.
And I was jamming to fucking George Harrison and the Beatles and fucking shit. That was awful. Ugh. But a lot of people are sick right now, and I'm like afraid to go to the store because there's so many like
The-
weird flus and shit like that going on.
The stomach bug.
And we've, knock on wood, been good. We don't really leave the house. We go to the deli. It's not like we have hundreds of people in there a day, so we keep people contact to a minimum. And Gabe was due for his shots, but he's 4 months old. Like, I don't want to take him to the doctor. Everyone I know has a neurovirus or like some crazy shit that they've had for weeks and can't get rid of. Why do I want to bring the baby into the doctor during like the worst sick time?
Right.
So I wanted to wait a few weeks. And then they just made me feel so guilty about him getting his shots and them measuring his head and shit. And I fucking understand why. But then when you think about asteroids and dinosaurs and zombies, you think how those people survive, or how people survive in countries that don't have baby formula and shit like this. And what their babies, like, I feel they scare us sometimes into being natural, like, mothers and people, because they want us to use their shit and their methods and make money off of us saying our fucking kids have anxiety problems at 6 years old and whatever. Well, why does that kid have anxiety in the first place? What environment is that kid in where you think he needs fucking pills? And I understand there's kids that do need extra help. And there are kids that do mentally struggle on a level that is not normal. But those pharmaceuticals are pushed on us way too soon here. And in other countries, they don't have commercials. Not all other countries. I understand there's countries that are way worse than, I have a good life. I struggle financially. So, like, maybe in another country I wouldn't be struggling financially. But I'm getting there. We're getting there. But they don't advertise that shit. Now that marijuana is going to become acceptable, or cannabis is going to be more acceptable, and one day it will be federally legal. But now the pharmaceutical companies are going to jump on cannabis and they're going to capitalize off of it. And, but for so long they said that wasn't okay. Now it's okay. And now you're going to make all this money off of people and make it harder for them to get it. We still got our fucking, our low key people. We don't need you. And when people get upset, like the laws, I don't know if it was fake or faux, we may have talked about it last time, like you can't be within like 30 feet of someone if you're smoking weed, but you can have a fucking drunk be taking care of a kid and you're not gonna have someone watching that. I'd be way more scared about someone who's an angry alcoholic who can't control their temper. And people that don't smoke, you don't have to smoke, but if you haven't, and you hear these people telling you how it can help therapeutically, sometimes it makes people's anxiety worse. That's fine. It's not for everybody. Maybe CBD would be good for them, though. But I've been smoking the same now that I've been smoking then, if not more. It doesn't matter if the laws. You can always get it. It's not really going to change anything.
Right.
So I try not to pay attention to the legal shit. And
I mean, it hasn't been as fast as it was in California here. It's been like, it's weird seeing it. It's been a long time since it's been legalized, and just I think there's only one legal dispensary here. I guess what I've been hearing too is what's hard about, like, going to like these other shops that are essentially like where we've always gone is just like the quality of it. And I've kind of seen it, especially coming from a place that's super developed in that, even in law, right? Like California was definitely like a pioneer, I feel like, in legalization. And I do believe it'll eventually be like that here. I just don't think it may be in this area. Just like how where I'm from, it's like that here. That's not very developed, and
they make it very hard for people.
Yeah, it's really expensive
to do it, but also there's one in Brockport now and one on Lyle now too.
That's legal.
And I think there's one in Henrietta too.
There's one. Yeah, that's the one I go to.
There's one in the city by East Ave Wegmans that is
closed down.
Oh shit. That one right by the Wegmans?
Right in front, yeah.
They were not making money there? Or?
No, it's a lot of this has to do with packaging.
That was a bad spot, but in a way it was a good spot because everyone goes to Wegmans.
I mean, as long as you're doing it correctly, it doesn't matter.
The parking sucked.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
I think it has a lot to do with packaging. If it's easy for a kid to get in there, that's why a lot of people do the jars. It's a lot harder for kids to be able to get in it if they have that chance.
So we went to, I forgot what we were talking about. Never mind.
Yes, let's move forward.
Where did I fucking go? What was I gonna say? Well, there's been a lot of, like in Hollywood and stuff like that. We just had the SNL 50 anniversary.
I'm gonna watch that today. Yeah,
you didn't watch it yet.
I know. I've seen. I know. It's funny. You'd appreciate this. We only have a smart TV, right? So we just use our apps that we have logins to. But for stuff like that, we actually boot it off of a Canadian stream. So it has to be live, though. So that was like my only chance.
Do you have Hulu?
I thought we did. I guess we don't. Honestly, I'm a little I'm a little angry with all these subscriptions, and I'm kind of on like a literal, I can't sign up for these anymore. It's like you try and find something, you have all these 13 subscriptions, and it's none of them. So
I live off of Pluto. And Pluto's free. You don't even need to sign in.
Yeah, we have that.
And they have the music stations on Pluto. So I'll go into like a hardcore bubble where, and it kind of brings me back to when we were growing up. Because when we were growing up, it was music videos.
Yeah, pop-up videos.
Sat on music videos. We love music videos. We had MTV. We had VH1. We had, was it Vubo or that? It wasn't Fuse. Was it Fuse back then or was it something else?
Fuse.
I feel like there was another one. But there was one where you could like request like the emo songs and like Sublime and shit like that. And then they would put like your name on the bottom of the screen. Was that Fuse? Brings me back to those days. But I'll watch like the 70s station and the 80s and I just feel like I should have been there. But when you look back at like pictures, you know how it like takes you to the moment? I feel like when you listen to the music enough, when you see it, when you read books and like whatever, I feel like you are living it. You've experienced every part of it, but physically just at that one time. I just saw an interview. I don't know who the guy interviewing was, but he was interviewing a couple guys that are in the band The Doors, and they played, I don't know if it was Light My Fire or forget what it was, but he said, is that weird to look back on? Like, does it seem like that's somebody else? Like, you don't know that person before? And he's like, no, every time I hear it, like, I get excited. It brings me back to that time, which I feel like is different because I feel like most musicians, when they talk about, like, their most popular songs and stuff, they hate on them. And they forget kind of where they may have gotten with some of those and how those ones actually came about. Hanging in the band rooms all the time. I love music. I wish I did something that put me into the music industry, and I feel I still have a chance. Like, Miami was cool because I had opportunities down there, bigger, like, Super Bowls to work. And the school that I went to, I could do these things. music festivals. Like, those were so fun. But then we got to work the music festival with Peter on the food truck. Smoking Pete's Best Fucking Barbecue in whatever. This is not a paid advertisement.
It's really good.
Bomb as shit.
I had it.
The best brisket. It is smoked so perfectly, and it's like perfectly juicy. The pulled pork is amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the loaded tots.
Yeah.
I like to do my little special things.
I'm getting barbecue for lunch.
So I like to get the garlic butter on top of the tater tots.
It looks like they're doing really well.
They're killing it. Everything they've done has been killing it. And I feel they started with a tent or a cart. I think it was a tent.
I know, right?
And then they went to the food truck. I think there was some things in between, like catering and stuff. Then they just did the restaurant, and it's an amazing restaurant.
So good.
I don't think I could ever do what they're doing in such a high-paced environment. But I think that's
Do they have kids?
No.
That's good.
I think
It helps.
it's because I like to do so many different things. I will never just not have one thing. Like, my goal is get shade set up. I don't have to be there. I pop in, make sure everyone's good, store's good, my customers are happy, we're good. Same thing with the deli. Eventually, I don't want to do it. I want someone else to be able to do it. I could easily pay somebody for the airline orders. Kind of like work update, I guess, real quick, is the deli. I'm pushing more towards airline catering.
Which is so cool. I didn't know that's how that all worked.
It's crazy. It's like a whole different world.
The last time we were flying, I was just watching them.
Well, these are for
Put
like
it
private
together.
jets.
Yeah, right. That's
So
way different.
It's legit catering, and then they have like their own china that they use. Some of these flights are from here to California, so they want a breakfast and
a lunch.
like a lunch.
Or
Like,
two. Yeah.
I did 4 group soups the last time, so that was like soup for 20 people. I did like a cheesy kielbasa. I did a cheesy kielbasa, Greek
so
lemon
hungry.
chicken. I feel the struggle I'm having is like can create really great flavors that go together really well.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't have all the time, and I need like help. And so I'm trying to like rush and do it all myself. And I feel like I'm not always putting out 100%. And in my head, I'm like, I hope it was okay this time, because I
Right.
know it would be way better next time.
Right.
And everyone's always like super happy and delicious, because I feel I'm not a scratch kitchen, but I feel like I try and do as much homemade as possible. I want my sauces to be my own, my condiments to be my own. I do this pepperoni sub with a garlic aioli, and it's just pepperoni, provolone, and banana peppers in this garlic aioli. Depending on if I did it on ciabatta, I usually do it with arugula, but fucking bomb. Tastes so fucking good.
Yeah, that panini. So good.
The Heather's favorite.
So good.
It's everyone's favorite.
It is delicious.
It's great as a breakfast bagel. I do it on a garlic parmesan bagel. Parmesan?
Oh, you've done it on a Parmesan bagel?
Yeah, I have a breakfast pop-up menu.
With that?
And I haven't done the pop-ups because I'm just not making money off them yet. And I spend too much. And I'm trying to get more hours at my remote job because I love my remote job. I think people might think that's weird. Like, why would you want to work for somebody else?
That's not weird.
If you're making...
You're smart.
It's
Very smart.
guaranteed income.
And you have benefits. You will get benefits from it too.
This is basically like my loan to my
Yeah,
business. Like,
exactly.
instead of taking out loans, I'm gonna work and make the money myself, so I'm not in debt.
That's a very honest way to do it.
I'm okay taking it slow. I don't give a fuck if I don't have 1,000 people in my door today. I just did one order that covered my whole fucking week. Still broke. I'm paying rent at 3 places. And I've kind of learned a little better how to rationalize and like split up the bills. Like, if there are places that are more lenient, then they're always paid. There was a time in my life where they were not always paid. I was like 2-3 months behind. I'm up to date with everything now, and I feel I've come a long way. I also didn't have situations where I was set up good. Like, I just moved across the country, and the restaurant industry sucks. You work your ass off for nothing,
little, yeah.
unless you're like a server.
Yeah.
And then, but if people know you're a good cook, they don't want you to serve. They want you in the kitchen because it's hard to find good cooks. So that was fucking shitty. But I'm working on our first wedding. I would like to do more airlines, weddings, where I can have like a nice table set up.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to work on. And then shade, I've been lazy. Then I had the raccoon. So I've been like sanitizing everything like crazy. I don't think the raccoon had anything, but you know, you just want to be careful.
Yeah.
So I've been just slacking on. I want to pay someone to clean shade for me, like fresh, like extra solution, kind of deep clean.
What about Megan?
I know. I got to. She did an amazing job the last time she came out too. I just need to
just schedule it. Yeah.
And also rationalize how I can afford it.
Right.
But
That would take a load off, I bet.
yes. I'm also being lazy about putting the Rolling Stone magazines in picture frames and making like my picture wall.
Right. You can do that over time.
Well, if I want people to rent the studio for a photo
Oh,
shoot,
okay.
I need to have like something. I also kind of want to do like a wallpaper wall.
Yeah.
Like 80s wallpaper. Because that would look sick. And I also thought about buying an actual like green screen. But just taking it slow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of losing it as far as being a mom at home all the time. I'm obsessed with Gabe. I'm obsessed with Harry.
Such a cutie.
And I'm obsessed with how obsessed Harry is with Gabe. But also, Gabe watches Harry.
Right.
He watches his every move. And it's so cute. And I think I just need help.
Yeah.
Like, Kenny has to work his hours. He has a county job. Like, he has to be there at the same time every day and whatever.
Not as flexible.
And he's happy there. So that's important. And I have more flexibility. Like, it would be nice to get myself to the deli to do the remote job. I have a bassinet or a thing there for Gabe to play in while Harry's at school, and I got Gabe with me. But that's a lot.
Yeah. Dude, you need to figure out that baby Bajorn. I think that'll help a lot.
I don't want to be making food and having an extra head of like hair
Aren't there
by
ones
me.
that are
And
behind you?
how the fuck am I
like
gonna
a little
get
knapsack?
how am I gonna get that baby behind me? It's just trying to navigate.
Yeah.
So last night, I'm not gonna talk about last night, but I am gonna say I desperately just need to get out of the house. And I know Kenny's at the point too where he also needs to get out.
Right.
But I'm with the baby more.
Dude, you need, like, yesterday was cool. I felt like you guys were comfortable. He was happy.
Yes.
It felt like a breath of fresh air.
It's just a pain in the dick carrying everything.
Yeah, and in the snow.
Yes.
Because, listen, my mom used to take me everywhere. Can you imagine how annoying she probably was?
I know. I feel like in the 90s, you went
I was everywhere with my
everywhere.
mom. Yeah. My mom was, I think I was on her back. I think that's who did that.
I think the time of year and like sickness and stuff too, like I just try and lay low.
It's a time for hibernation. And I feel like this is the first big snow in a long time for this area. Consistent.
I feel like I remember snows
Being
winter being a little bit more, but
This is
more
close.
so like this. Like we've had snow almost every day. I love snow. I hate people that bitch about the snow. Fucking move. You've lived here how many years and you're still bitching about it and surprised that it's gonna fucking snow this year?
Yeah.
I'd be more scared if it wasn't fucking snowing. 'Cause
Yep.
it's supposed to snow here.
Right.
I saw New York. I saw Rochester is their top 6 cities for most snow.
No, yeah. We beat Buffalo.
Fuck. So Syracuse was number 2. Rochester was number 3. I feel like Buffalo had to be number 1. Or
No. We had 87 inches. They had 78.
Denver, Colorado Boulder, Colorado was number 6. And I'm like, there's nowhere else in the U.S. that's getting hammered with snow. Like,
Yosemite.
not that many areas, but it's scary to
Sierra
think
Nevadas.
about because we used to be warm. I think at the same time, though, the earth and shit is always changing through the years, and that is something that will always happen.
Climate change.
I mean, maybe aliens on another planet have it figured out and they're not doing as much pollution. Like,
Right.
maybe it's not too late and we'll figure it out.
Maybe they figured it out.
I guess I have to have a final thought of the day, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck. Didn't even think about this. Well, maybe I'll talk about this next time.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just keep having you come back.
Maybe. Hopefully I'll wake up. Let's make this a little later.
So I'm in tune with who the popular influencers are because I like Barstool and stuff. And it's crazy. I've seen Brianna Chicken Fry. She was dating
love
Zach
her.
Bryan, and a lot of people don't like her now.
Not who I'm thinking of.
But she came out that he was like abusive and whatever.
There's been a lot of videos this week of him being
And now,
crazy.
now everybody. Well, I will say people get taunted when they're famous in public, and I think he was being recorded
Yeah.
without whatever.
He's getting punked a lot of places because of what he did to her.
But a lot of people also feel bad for him.
Why?
Like, how could she go out there to say it? And then Nikki Bella, the wrestler, which next time I come, I'll talk about my WWE experience because I'm going next
you sure
week.
you want me here?
Nikki Bella's husband got arrested for domestic whatever. And maybe something happened that wasn't like whatever, but you can't fucking do shit to people. And then,
Expect them.
but I just can't believe how many people are still hating the women coming out and being like strong about that. Or, there's like people slut shaming because people weren't wearing enough during like the Grammy performances, and it's like we're still hating women's bodies and stuff. Like you're not confident enough yet, and you're saying I don't want my daughter or my children to see that, but like we're born with these bodies. Guys can take their shirts off. Why can't I take my shirt off?
Can I just say MTV Spring Break?
I know, right?
That's what we grew up with. Like,
Dude,
what do you mean?
They act like they fucking like were perfect and
Right.
whatever, but also like stop teaching women to be ashamed of their bodies at a young age
agree.
because people can't handle themselves.
Yeah.
So, that's my tip of the week is fucking women power, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yes.
Fucking women
Yeah.
power. That's my tip of the week.
I like that.
Be nice to your ladies.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
See you.
Cause I